I didn't realise how difficult travelling on semaglutide would be until I decided to do it. I went travelling around Southeast Asia for 2 months. Here's my story where we tackle airport security, alleviate symptoms whilst travelling, and where things go wrong, because how on earth do you keep a refrigerated medication cold in a tropical country? Most importantly, did I still lose weight after 2 months of travelling?
My stomach's so full of poo.
Many of you, like myself, would not want to hinder all the progress we've made.
Feeling pretty slim now.
So, I plan to continue my Wegovy journey whilst travelling. Having planned to go for 4 to 6 weeks, I took 2 pens, thinking that would be enough for 2 months. This would later become a blessing and a curse. However, before leaving, I was getting so many symptoms. I get through this shit like crazy. I didn't want to make my travelling experience a living nightmare.
You know what you got to tell yourself is the view will be worth it. I'm so dehydrated.
So I made the wise decision to reduce my dose from 2.4 to 1.7 milligrams. I'm so glad I did this because travelling is difficult and unforgiving. Managing changes in food and water, add semaglutide into the mix, and you're pretty much asking for problems. This may have put me a little bit of a step back in terms of weight loss, but only the scales would tell when I returned. Like myself, one of your biggest questions might be, how easy is it to get needles and medication through airport security? Surprisingly, this is literally the easiest thing ever. I went through probably about 20 airports and none of them even looked at it, questioned what it was. I showed it to them and they were like, yeah, whatever. And that was the end of that. But one of my biggest problems, which would take me the whole trip to overcome, was keeping this medication cold. And what happens if you don't? Well, it's not the end of the world. This medicine isn't like insulin where you would literally die or become very unwell if you didn't take it or it didn't work. But there are other consequences of not having it, which I would find out later when I got home. Keeping it cool was a significant challenge. I started off the journey with this medication bag, which I thought would be adequate, but it was very much the opposite and couldn't keep anything cool for over 4 hours, especially in a hot place. Whilst most places had fridges, they would happily oblige me using it.
I've just taken the key card out just to see, because when you take the key card out, the power turns off. And as a result, so does the fridge.
We reached even bigger problems when going off the beaten track. This is when I switched to using my insulating flask. However, I needed this for drinking. Later on in the trip, I found this. A perfect size for a Wegovy pen and some ice. This kept it cool for 48 to 72 hours. Yes, the ice melted, but the water was still cold. And when I went into the jungle, I would ask the companies if they would keep the medication in the fridge for me, which is what I did here. And then this happened.
I audibly gasped at what I found. She put all of it in the freezer. Frozen. Anyway, there's only 1 dose in it, so it's fine, hopefully. I'll just do it, see what happens. If anything, it just won't work. I don't think it will, do anything crazy to me. I just think... Dawn. Stupid.
Maybe I should have watched her putting it in the fridge and freezer, or maybe better communication using Google Translate would have helped. The second disaster happened later on, closer to the end of the trip. It would only be a matter of time and some trust to see how this panned out.
I was on the 1.5-hour taxi ride here. Last time I sat in the front of a taxi, he kissed me, so let's hope we don't get a snog this time.
Welcome to my orange car.
Oh!
I'm in danger!
It's very orange, isn't it?
This is my favorite.
Do you like carrots?
Yeah.
Do you like carrots?
Carrots? No, not too much. But I think orange is fresh color.
Yeah. And I went, you know when you do that sharp inhale, as if you've just woken up from a nightmare, and that's because I had. I forgot my hundreds of pounds worth of medicine. Left it in the fridge, didn't I? I can't tell if I feel sick because I'm unwell, because I've just spent 1.5 hours in a car along bumpy roads, or if it's the medicine that I don't have. So now I really have to put my trust in this random Balinese man who said He's gonna bring it to me on Tuesday when I'm back. He delivered it last night at exactly the time he said he was going to deliver it as well. Like perfectly on time. So, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very, very glad to have that. I did pay him, obviously. Can you give this to Tono?
Oh yeah.
Is that alright? Oh, these have been in the freezer, they're not even frozen. I think the biggest way I'm not gonna forget this next time is to leave my pouch out. So I think the biggest mistake that I made last time was I put the whole pouch in the fridge, so I just forgot it. But if this doesn't need to be in the fridge, so I can just put the medicine in the fridge, take this with me, leave it here. I'm not gonna forget it then, am I? It's a literal reminder. Anyway, what a nightmare, and I'm glad it's over. Oh.
Problem solved. After 2 months extending my trip for longer than anticipated, I run out of money, Wegovy, and to be quite honest, patience. It was time to go home. So, when I came back, got a new pen, and injected another dose, the side effects hit me like a freight train. When left out of the fridge for too long, the medication degrades and becomes less effective. So, who really knows what I was injecting in reality? My biggest learning point? Invest in an excellent insulating flask, and you'll be fine. Probably. So, did I lose weight whilst I was travelling? That is the big question that everyone stuck around for. And I nearly forgot to tell you. Let me show you the graphs. So I went away in March, the middle of March. Now I'm back. I am exactly the same weight. Now, if you look at the trend, it is showing a gradual downward trend. February, March. Average was 93.9, and when I got back, I lost about an average of 1 kilo. So I didn't lose nothing, but it's not going well for me at the moment. I'm really trying to overcome this weight loss plateau. I am currently filming for a video about it actually, so stick around and wait to see how and if I overcome it, because it's frustrating. I am still losing weight, but like it's pretty much grinding to a halt. So something's going wrong. Stick around to see if and when and how I overcome this. Bye.